Hey guys, D.Bowie here, and I'm sorry if I sound a little bit weird, I'm just sick. And this is things I've learned with Fnatic.Universe AXE in 7.18. It's been quite popular lately to get Battle Hunger level 1 on AXE, but you don't necessarily do it all the time, or you don't necessarily max the skill early as fast as possible. In this game though, there's a lot of reasons for it, and I'll talk more about it, but since that's the case, note how he starts with triple mangoes. Not only the HP regen is great, the mana burst is quite nice to have as well. The first reason to get Battle Hunger ASAP is that there is no counterplay from the enemy when you're fighting for runes. No creeps to less hit or deny, meaning you will deal full damage, while also guaranteeing you a bounty rune, possibly. Another reason for people to get Battle Hunger early is this dual lane meta. With all three heroes being against you, the supports really struggle to deal with the Battle Hunger, or get denies or get less hits when you just jump him. They also go in as soon as the creeps meet, meaning there's no deny or CS the Wind Ranger can get, so that's quite nice. This also means that you don't get mega harassed anymore, meaning that you can farm the offlane instead of trying to just leech experience like a coward. Universe's first item is Quelling Blade, and it's great. Sometimes you see Axes keeping it and just drawing aggro and trading with the enemy, but Ursa is one of the few heroes where you just don't want to do that at all, since it's just way too much damage. When the creep wave is about to die, but the last melee creep is full HP, note how they dive the Wind Ranger once again, applying full Battle Hunger damage on her. When the creep waves meet, same thing. Note that while Wind Ranger is very low HP, Universe never dove her. Ursa can definitely destroy him, especially with level 2, so he makes sure not to get a lot of Fury Swipe stacks on him and just chills. When the only two heroes in lane were Ursa and Universe, he rarely tried to use Battle Hunger because it's too easy for him to overpower and cancel it. He just tried to draw as much aggro as possible, chill, and he eventually gets boots. Note that he has 2 points in Battle Hunger now and only 1 in his E. He doesn't trade well enough versus the Ursa to max that one out. In fact, pay attention how he baits the Battle Hunger out until he gets this CS. Every creep is full HP pretty much, and with the boots, he feels like Ursa cannot kill him. He makes sure to draw aggro to delay Ursa as much as possible, meaning he took 20% of Ursa's HP without losing anything. There's no other way he would be able to deal that much damage that effectively, and that's why this build makes sense as long as you time the Battle Hunger correctly. The Quelling Blade just ties it all perfectly together because with more right-click damage, the denies will be harder for the enemy safe laner and you're gonna deal more damage because of it. The only times Universe try to right-click Ursa is when Ursa is actually focusing getting CS to remove Battle Hunger. Watch again, he Battle Hungers when all creeps are pretty much full HP and he boops the Ursa while also drawing aggro and dealing counter helix damage because of it. The trade is 1 right-click to the face, so definitely worth it. It's clear that Wind Ranger pulled the lane and Universe quickly moves looking for her laying the Battle Hunger out. Note how Ursa wants to help but at the same time doesn't want to lose creeps. This means that Wind Ranger is forced to go back to base. Against a ranged support like Wind Ranger, going call and counter helix will never work because she would kite the hell out of that offlaner. Knowing that he zoned Wind Ranger out, he goes for a super effective play. Bounty runes are about to spawn, but at the same time he doesn't want to lose CS, so he draws aggro from the wave while also resetting the equilibrium while also getting double bounty. Since they are under tower, it's harder for Ursa to commit for CS or denies, so he uses Battle Hunger, and when Ursa is about to get a card CS to take Battle Hunger out, he calls the Ursa, dealing more damage, buying extra time. When Ursa gets level 6, meaning that he has way more burst than normal, and can also dispel the Battle Hunger, Universe is forced to leave the lane. There's no way he can be there solo. His job was done. It's time to start scaling a little bit. One big problem of this build, and why a lot of people only get 2 or 3 points in Battle Hunger, is that you don't jungle super well. Still, in this game and with CM Aura and Battle Hunger, he does an okay job at it. The only time he goes back to the lane is when Ursa starts forcing the tower. One thing that changed from how Axe was played back in the day is that very rarely you will see an Axe going Blink first item. Unless you have an Invoker follow-up or some huge cast range skill like Assassinate, you want to get that Vanguard first, or else it's just too easy to jump, get a kill, and die. Nowadays, your offlaner not only farms the lane, he wants to farm the lane, create space, but scale at the same time. So Vanguard first makes a lot of sense, especially with this build. Less points in counter helix means less burst damage, which means less chances of getting pickoffs and more chances of dying after. While Ursa can dispel Battle Hunger, the skill works wonders against all the other heroes that cannot dispel it. In this clip here, you can see it working perfectly. The slow is so long that the call can be used. This style of axe, unlike the old one, actually has decent rotation power. The 12% slow and move speed buff usually is enough for you to close the gap on people, or at least deal enough damage to finish targets off. This rotation is a great example. With LSA missing, maybe Rubik would be able to survive if you only maxed your E and your Q. Not the case here, but anyways. The Blink Dagger reveal is just standard. Smoke with 3 heroes, they don't find anyone because Ursa was Roshin and his team was around him. Universe gives a great call eventually. With the Roche pit being empty and Lina fighting bottom, they clearly have advantage since Invoker's in the other side of the map. It takes a while, but they do get the kill. Also note how Universe moves away from the Chronosphere range and how Void Chronos in a way where Universe can also right click for it. He also runs away from the Necro so the blink doesn't get cancelled by the Necro Q and he gets it done. Axe is quite similar to Sand King in the sense that while they're good initiation heroes, they can also clear waves pretty fast. So Universe was not necessarily out of the map the entire time, he would constantly shove waves while always having a TP on him. Being able to force people to one side of the map and finding another one is Dota 101 and Axe is great at it. In this example, Necrophos goes bottom. While no fight happens, shoving the wave gives him bounty rune control while farming part of the Radiant jungle, leaving Void the juicy and safe farm of their own jungle. The summary is that without Blade Mail, there's not a lot of heroes who can kill this game without your team, and thus Universe didn't really force anything unless the enemy was forcing it. He just made sure to shove waves and be prepared to action somewhere else. One interesting thing about all of this is that while Universe had the chance to get a double call here, he jumps the Invoker by himself. Not only Ursa has a lot of burst damage, Invoker is a target that doesn't care about his high armor when he's free. His decision gives them Radiant's position 1. Believe it or not, in a draft like this, Invoker is clearly the hero with the highest priority. Not only that, thanks to the max battle hunger, they can keep chasing, but the important part is how Universe does it. He battle hungers, but he's never showing because he can get shackled or lifted. He chases from the fog, even though he has another call. Basically, he's saying, Necro is dead already, if someone else tries to help, I'll jump in. And guess what? Windranger does just that, and that's a triple kill for Gunner. As they push mid tier 2, Universe makes sure not to show, and since Rubik is the only hero showing, he gets self-conscious. Ursa might be Roshin. And he was right. Speaking of forcing heroes in some areas of the map, watch this. Universe is pushing mid while Rubik shows. While Dire lays a sentry that sees the Radiant one, they don't take it down, trying not to give their presence away. See how Dire keeps on farming and they just retreat very slowly? This is a sign that they have no idea that Universe is there. As that happens, J-Marie shows bottom in a place where there's no towers, meaning that it's very unlikely they have enough firepower to stop him or to see his TP. And there you go. We did talk enough about rotations and using vision to set up kills. What about those big 5 versus 5 fights? How do you pull those off? This is an interesting fight, something you rarely see people talking about. As an Axe, you don't have kill potential every time you jump. Universe in this clip and his team were hunting Necrophos and they got the first kill. Keep watching what happens. He has no blink, so he uses the fog to use Battle Hunger and keep his blink dagger up. Unfortunately though, Lina takes too much damage before the blink, and since he's forced to go in super fast, there's no Blade Mail, and the call just buys time. Even with Blade Mail getting ready, he just makes use of the fact that his teammates will die to at least try and survive. IX Mike stays there for too long, and with no mana, there's nothing the Universe can do but disengage, and sometimes you just have to do it. There's no shaming that. I also really like what he does next. He doesn't know whether Radiant has wards in the secret shop cliff, so he walks all the way up to the right, knowing that this is bounty room time. As he does that, he already sends the courier towards that direction, securing his team 2 bounties and making sure he's going to be healthy to fight without going back to base. To save mana, here, he also uses vision from the Necro somewhere else to draw aggro, nullifying tower damage while farming faster. If that's not crispy, I don't know what it is. This is one of the biggest fights of the game. They spot Ursa mid and Clock initiates with hookshot. He makes sure to call right now since he doesn't want Ursa to ult, and with Rubik there, he has to BKB as well. The big part of this fight is that he holds on to Culling Blade. It's clear that Ursa has more than 400 HP because of Necro's heal, and because he was that cold-blooded, he still has the spell. Ursa is dead anyways, but he gets chronoed. Right now, he has the call ready, but Rubik is not a high priority target and Ursa bought back, so no one knows what the fuck is going on. Universe hides in the river here since it's nighttime, and with that hero getting double damage, it's clear that fighting right now is asking to throw since Void and Lina are dead with no buyback. The unsung hero of this game was the Clockwork that manages to deny the Aegis while the Universe was pushing bottom, and the biggest fight of the game happens now, and it's interesting to see the priority the Universe puts on taking the Windranger down. When BKBs are down, she has so much power in late game fights with those 2-man 4-second stuns that even though she's by herself, Universe jumps and snatches the Ginger's life. He battle hungers as he disengages, and again we see him using the fog in the tree to buy time for a blink call again. He gets blink ready, but he doesn't jump instantly. He waits until Necro and Ursa are clearly together. Yes, he dies, but since he never committed to that Shadow Blade and he has travels, he can buy back, rejoin the fight, and this time he actually does something not intuitive. Instead of waiting to get the perfect blink call, he blinks straight away with fear that any of those heroes could try and stop him. He gets a perfect double call on the same 2 heroes, and this is the beginning of the end. As always guys, I'm casting every single day, and if you're interested in getting a replay analyzed by me, you can always sub to the Twitch channel. Every weekend, starting next week, I'll be analyzing 3 replays from subs, so if you like the idea, drop by the Twitch channel and ask some questions. If you want some dank memes or Dota knowledge, follow me on Twitter. Twitch is the place to go if you want to see me casting or playing, and my Instagram has some food and personal stuff. Join our Discord channel, and make sure to like and subscribe this crispy video. I'm sorry if the video was not as in-depth as you would like. After all, I'm pretty sick, I'm surprised I was able to finish this off. Keep watching if you want to see the end of the game with crispy music, or get the replay ID and finish it off in the client. Thanks for watching guys, bye.